Chelsea Sherrod here with Dakota Randall at Gillette Stadium. The Patriots are practicing. It's Thursday. They've got a couple days before their Sunday night showdown against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and when Tom Brady comes to town. And one thing that the Patriots have been echoing all week is that they're not just focusing on Tom Brady's return. They're focusing on the Buccaneers as a whole. What do players have to say today during their availability as far as their mindset?
Well, Matt Judon and Hunter Henry really echoed those sentiments. What we've really heard all week from the Patriots is, we're not playing Tom Brady. We're playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're not playing just the quarterback. We're playing against the receivers, the tight ends, the offensive linemen, everything. And that's true. And this team has so many problems in-house that they gotta address that they can't really be worried about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, they got to prepare to beat them and play them, but they have so many issues that they need to correct that they can't worry about getting caught up in this Tom Brady hype all week like the rest of us are.
Definitely. And speaking of one of the issues and struggles that they've been emphasizing this week is their production in the red zone. Right. How important is it for them to get that down packed for this game on Sunday?
Well, it's huge, and listen, they're going to lose if they don't get it straight. And they've been honestly terrible, I would say, over the first 3 weeks, especially last weekend. And if they don't get it corrected, if they don't get in the red zone and start turning some of these drives into touchdowns instead of field goals, they got no shot of keeping up with this Tampa Bay offense. And really, it just comes down to execution. Too many drives have been derailed by penalties, turnovers, drops, as we saw last week. So it really is just execution, and it's across the board. It's not just the offensive linemen. It's not just the receivers, or Jonnu Smith, who was particularly bad last week. It's Mac Jones as well. I don't think he was that good last weekend. So across the board, when they get down in the red area, they really got to button down and execute and put some points on the board.
Definitely. Okay, so Thursday's practice, the only player that was not in attendance was James White for the second consecutive day. Right. But in Bucs camp, one player was also not at practice as far as the open media availability portion, and that's Rob Gronkowski. How would that impact the Buccaneers offense this Sunday if he doesn't play? And do you expect to see him suited up on Sunday?
Well, it's kind of a strange situation because he hurt himself in the game over the weekend against the Los Angeles Rams. The x-rays on his ribs were negative, and the initial reporting this week was that there's no way that he's going to miss this game. But then he missed his practice yesterday. It doesn't seem like he was at practice today. And so I guess it's really a storyline worth monitoring now, and I don't think that was the case early in the week. I would still be stunned if he didn't play. I think maybe he's just taking a breather during the weeks to make sure he's kind of full go for that game. But obviously, if he doesn't go, it is a bummer from a storyline standpoint. You want to see Gronk come back with Brady, the drama of it. But if he doesn't play, that is a boost to the Patriots. It's one less target they got to worry about. But that said, the Buccaneers do have other good tight ends on the roster, O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate, that they'd still be able to move the ball just fine. But it would be a bummer, I think, from a fan standpoint, if Rob Gronkowski wasn't able to play.
Yeah, and we know that he will return because he's looking forward to some things that he's been missing in New England, like Taglinos, like coffee milk, like he said today.
Yeah, I don't know what coffee milk is.
We'll have to look that one up. But overall, how do the Patriots get a win on Sunday?
Well, it's a few things. I think, first of all, we've heard it a lot. If you want to make Tom Brady uncomfortable, you have to get pressure up the middle. And so they absolutely have to do that. But beyond that, they really need to stop the run. And this run defense, I think it was better last weekend against the Saints, but really it's been poor since the start of the season. And they really need to stop it against the Bucs, because if the Bucs get the running game going, all of a sudden the play action opens up for Tom Brady, and he's just going to pick the secondary apart and have a field day. So the defense, they need to stop the run. They need to get pressure up the middle. And on offense, it starts on the offensive line. They need to protect Mac Jones. They need to open up holes for the running game. If they are able to protect Mac Jones, I do think he can take advantage of this Bucs secondary, because it's not very good. At least it hasn't been very good this season. So I do think they could have some success on offense if the passing protection is there. But again, I think they got an uphill battle. There is a path to a victory, a very narrow path, but it is there. So we'll just have to see what happens on Sunday.
Definitely, and I know everyone will be watching this fan base, and I know Tom Brady did say that it's okay if some of these fans aren't rooting for him on Sunday. He wants them to root for their home team.
I think they will be rooting for him, though. It's going to be an interesting crowd. I could see boos, I could see cheers on both sides. It's going to be interesting to see what this fan base is like on Sunday.
Yes, okay. Counting down the days to Tom Brady's return and their Week 4 game Sunday night on prime time at 8:20 p.m.